But here are 10 signs that your debt is out of control. Yeah? You're a little scared right there?
I am.
I don't know. Do you want to do a little song and dance real quick? Or maybe Mexican song?
No.
Nothing? Okay. All right. So if you got debt, here's some things you should be thinking about. Here are 10 signs your debt is out of control. Numero uno. Well, that was just more for you.
Yeah, sorry.
Numero uno, you struggle to make the minimum payments.
Eesh.
Okay, I'm not talking about...
That's a huge sign.
Yeah, that's a huge sign. Not paying it in full every month. The minimum.
You can't pay the minimum?
The minimum is usually $25,
Dude,
depending on what you owe. Maybe
Yeah,
$50,
exactly,
maybe it's
yeah.
$100. If you can't pay the minimum, stop.
Yeah.
Stop, bro.
Yeah.
Things are getting out of control. You probably know this by now, but stop. If you can't pay the minimum, stop using your credit cards. Number 2, your debt grows every month. The whole point of paying off the debt is so it goes down and down and down. But if you pay the minimum, you'll notice that, let's say you owed $5,000 on a credit card, you pay the minimum. Next month you owe $5,200. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Interest rates working against you.
Yeah.
That 24%, no bueno. Okay, this is a vicious cycle. It gets very ugly out there that is not sustainable long term. Some of this stuff is obvious, but some of the, we just talked about the average credit card in America, $5,500.
Right.
So maybe it's not so obvious, right? So it's like Marcelo gave the analogy. He's like, if you play golf every week and your score is getting worse, like you shot a 90 and then you're shooting a 95, and then the next week you shoot 100, and then you're shooting 110. It's like maybe you need to do things differently.
Yeah.
Same thing with your credit card. If you owe $5,000 and the next month you owe $5,200, and then a year from now you owe $7,000, it's like you're going the wrong way, bro.
Yeah.
Okay? And ladies, I don't want to just say bro, but anyway, if your debt grows every month. Number 3, this breaks my heart to say it, you're just not saving any money. Nothing. If all your money is going towards your necessities and your debt payments, focus on paying those debts and clearing up your finances. If you can't save, you're never going to be able to get ahead. You're drowning in debt. It's a vicious cycle. Number 4, your credit score is suffering. Important, not the most important, but important. One of the factors that alleviate the negatives of debt is that paying off debt builds up your credit score. Cool. It's better to have a good credit score than a bad credit score. But if your credit score is only going down, 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 you got to make a change. Like Michael Jackson. Make that change. Okay?
You reference Michael Jackson
I love that.
so much on this show.
Change. I do. We won't go
Man
there.
in the Mirror.
The Man in the Mirror. Make that change. Same song. I'm talking to the Man in the Mirror. Well, when it comes to your finances, they say that, I'm gonna start something new. They say that it's 20% knowledge, 80% behavioral. The experts.
Yeah.
I think it's just straight up 50-50. I'm gonna start using that from now on. 50% knowledge, because knowledge is power, then 50% behavioral. A lot of times you got to look in the mirror and say, dude, what are you doing? Enough. Can't go out this weekend. No more partying. No more vacations.
No more fiesta.
No more fiesta.
No more tequila.
No more tequila.
No more fiesta.
It sucks. No more Mexico. No more Cancun. Let me rein it in and save that money. So, anyway, your credit score is suffering. The lower your credit score sinks, the higher your interest rates will rise. It's kind of like lower the credit score, higher the interest.
Yeah.
It's an adverse effect. All right, number 5, debt collectors are calling. This is the freaking worst.
Oh, my God, bro. That's like
Change your number.
That should be number 1.
Yes, that's the worst. Once the debt collectors start calling, things are getting dangerous for your finances.
That's how you know
okay?
it's out of control.
If your debt is sent to a collection agency, the odds are good that your credit rating will go down and the late fees have been added onto what you owe. All right, that's a side point.
Yeah.
But the calls, the freaking calls. Lose my number, bro.
First date, you're with the girl. She gets a call from a debt collector. What do you do?
How much do I like this girl?
You just met her. She's got good banter.
I'm in.
Great body.
I'm in. I'm a big fan of banter. Yeah, I don't know. We talked about a couple episodes ago.
Oh yeah, you got to know your
to
partners.
address with your partner before you really, dive deep into a relationship or get married. Yeah. Debt is one of them. The last thing you want to do is, start dating a girl, or you get married and you find out she's got, a mortgage she didn't tell you about, $100,000 of student loans,
now
$10,000 of credit
we have
cards.
a mortgage.
Now we have that problem. This is a you problem. This is not a me problem. Number 6, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Well, I think 2/3 of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 60% of millennials making $100,000 or more are living paycheck to paycheck, and 40% of just Americans, plain old Americans, making $100,000 or more or living paycheck to paycheck. It's not fun. It's not pretty. This is not what you want from your life. But if you're living paycheck to paycheck, this is a sign that your debt is out of control, or you have a spending problem and you don't know how to save that money. Adjust your lifestyle. When every paycheck disappears nearly as fast as it arrives, in one door, out the other, you can feel that you're walking on thin ice, right? Any emergency in that situation is likely to throw you into more debt that you can't afford. The last thing you want to do is what we talk about, having a cushion, having an emergency fund, saving that money, a rainy day fund is, you know what happens from time to time? Shit happens.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Shit happens, bro.
That's why you need to have a cushion and understand that shit's going to happen. So anytime you have an emergency, the last thing you want to do is have to put on your credit card. You know, it's a car problem. It's always a car problem in some capacity. It's always like, you know, everything was going just fine, and then the radiator blew out, and then the engine had a problem, and the check engine light went on. It's like the same story. It's like
with every episode. I don't think by 100 episodes, I don't know if I'm going to be a billionaire, but I think I just won't have a car.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
100 episodes.
Save that money. Number 7, you're hiding your debt. Let me tell you something. Ignoring it won't make it go away. You remember in the Roadrunner?
Yeah.
Every time that the Coyote and the Roadrunner were doing their thing, and like there was a train coming, and the Coyote would just like pull down the shade because his house was on the tracks.
Yeah.
The train's coming, bro.
Yeah.
The train's coming, no matter what you do with the shades. Ignoring your debt won't make it go away, so address it. That's kind of the point of this entire conversation. You had something to say on that one?
No, I mean, what's that saying that the things that are guaranteed in life, death and taxes? Yeah. That has nothing to do with what we just
No,
said.
nothing at all, but thank you.
Also, your debt.
Well, good played. All right, number 8, you're losing sleep over your finances. This is probably the freaking worst. They're all bad. But when you can't even sleep,
you can't sleep
because the collection agencies are calling, the debt collectors are calling, and it's taking a toll on your physical health, and you're just like...
That's the sign anything's out of control. If you can't sleep, man...
Of course.
Make that change.
Make that change. Thank you, MJ. Take care of your health. Health is wealth. Stress is the enemy. Take care of it. Take care of it. Never a good look. That's number 8, losing sleep over your finances. Take some NyQuil. For debt. Get a good night's sleep. A little Ambien. Number 9, you have to borrow money to keep up with living costs. This is something that you have to borrow money just to live your normal life. You have to get into debt just to pay rent. So there's something called forbearance, and there's some options out there to lighten your debt load. So you might want to look into that. Number 10, your credit cards are just straight up maxed out. Maxed out. If you're maxing out your credit cards, number 1, you need to relax.
Yeah.
Stop spending, okay? It's like going to a buffet and just eating and eating and eating and eating. Eventually, you're going to get sick, and you're probably going to throw up. It's not going to be a good look for you, all right? You're going to be too full and just like feel horrible. So pace yourself. Don't be maxing out your credit cards. Here's the deal. Let's wrap this up. Those are the 10 things that 10 signs that your debt is out of control. Here's a little advice to you. So whether you have a little bit of debt, a lot of bit of debt, no matter, here's my little advice for you. Take a piece of paper. Write down these 3 things. Write down the debt name, right?
Right.
Write down the amount, and then write down the interest rate next to it, okay? The name, the amount, the interest rate. How much you owe and how much you're getting screwed to owe that amount, basically, okay? And then basically you have 2 options. Legitimate options. I'm not talking about debt consolidation or anything like that. It's a whole other topic. You have 2 options in order to pay off your debt. There's something called the debt snowball, and there's something called the debt avalanche. Debt snowball is where you start with the smallest debt first, bang that out, boom. Let's say you owe 5 different debts, right?
Yeah.
Start with the smallest, $500, boom, you're done. Move on to the next one, $1,000, boom, you're done. Next thing, $5,000, boom, you're done. Move on, and then you tackle the big one last. That's the debt snowball. It's kind of like a snowball.
Huh.
The opposite of that, equally as vital, or equally as important, is something called the debt avalanche. You say, look, I got these 5 pieces of debt. One of them is 0%, one of them is 6%, one of them is 10%, one of them is 12%, one of them is 25%. The debt avalanche says, start with the 25%er, bro. That is the one that is screwing you the most. Get that out of your life ASAP. From there, you go to the next one. Just go to the 12%. Then you go to the 10%, and then you work your way down to the 0%. Either way, make a plan. Write down the 3 things that I talked about, the name of the debt, the amount of the debt, the interest rate. Pick a path. debt Snowball, debt Avalanche. Choice is yours, but get that shit out of your life. Make sense? Makes sense.
Talk is money. All we talk is money.
If you enjoyed that short clip from the Soscast, click here to watch another. Click here to watch the full episode, or just stay broke.